Hey everyone, Bill Worrell here, and welcome back to 6-String Conservatory. In this lesson, I'd like to introduce you to scales. We'll talk about what a scale is, and I'll show you how to play a couple of patterns. Now, some of you may have played scales before, but for some of you it's brand new. So let me go ahead and play you a C major scale so you can see what it looks and sounds like. Let's talk about what a scale is. A scale is a set of notes, and it really could be any combination of notes, but in music training we often start with major scales and minor scales. And many of the songs that we know and love are based off of one scale or another. Now, major scales are said to sound happy, while minor scales tend to sound sad. This is generally speaking. So here's an A minor scale to compare it to. Now, as you may notice, with each of the scales that I'm playing the related chord, which helps to hear a context for the notes. So for the C major scale, I'm playing a C major chord. And for the A minor scale, I'm playing an A minor chord. So, and as we'll see when we get into soloing with these scales, paying attention to how the notes fit inside a particular chord is very important. Now, very often a melody may be created by an artist's own musical intuition. I mean, they may not be sitting there saying, okay, today I'm going to take a major scale and I'm going to choose the first, fourth, and seventh notes of this scale. Well, although you never know, I mean, artists can get pretty quirky sometimes, but generally speaking, a musician will pick up their instrument and come up with a melody just using whatever, intuition they have or whatever they're feeling that day. Now, they may not know what scale or even what key they're in, but if we were to analyze it, we could very often discern that it's based on one scale or another. Now, there are other scales that we'll learn, such as the pentatonic scale or the harmonic minor scale, and it might be more appropriate to say that a song's melody is based on one of these, but as we'll see, the pentatonic scale, for example, is extremely related to the major and minor scale. I mean, in fact, the major and minor scales themselves are extremely related. So just learning these two scales alone are going to set us up for what is to come. So let's go ahead and dive in here. We'll learn two patterns, one with the root note on the 5th string and one with the root note on the 6th string, which, as we'll find, is extremely important for us as guitarists to know. So let's start with the C major scale. We'll start on the 3rd fret A string. And the note names are C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. So one octave, C up to C. So here it is with the root on the 6th string now, and these are going to be all the same notes, but we're playing it in a different position, and we're actually going to do 2 octaves. There's 1 octave. There's 2 octaves. Okay, next is the A minor scale, and we'll start with an open position. So the notes here are A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. So 1 octave, A, all the way up to A. Now here it is starting on the 5th fret E string, and again we're going to use all the same notes, but we're in a different position now, and again we're going to learn 2 octaves. So it sounds like this. There's 1 octave. And there's 2 octaves. Now these patterns are called movable patterns, meaning that if we wanted to play a B minor scale, all we would have to do is move that A minor pattern up 2 frets so that we're now starting on a B note, okay, just like this. Now in the case of the first pattern we learned, which was C major with the root on the 5th string, we used open strings. So if we're going to move this up or transpose it, let's say to the key of D, we would have to move those open strings as well. So it would look like this. Now, if transposing to a different key is a little tricky right now, don't worry. I'll go over this more in some later videos. Right now, focus on learning the C major scale and the A minor scales with both patterns. Now, scales can be fantastic exercises as well. In fact, my book called Scale Studies for Guitar offers several patterns up and down the neck, along with several exercises that take you through them in various ways and really build your dexterity. But as we said, scales are also the foundation for building a melody for a song, and very often soloing or improvising. So my hope is to go over precisely this in more detail in a later video. That's all for now. See you next time.